Hi everyone, I am Asia Nicholson and welcome to Coffee with CoreLife, where we discuss all things health and wellness related. Before we get into today's topic, let's welcome our guest. Welcome back our guest actually,
Hi.
Vice President of Behavioral Health, Leah Mandley.
Hi.
So today's topic is all about how to create connections and how to overcome social
Mm,
isolation.
Yeah.
So my first question for you today is what causes social isolation or what are some of the causes
Mhm.
and is it a bad thing to experience?
Well, I think it depends on what the reasoning for the isolation is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it doesn't necessarily become a bad thing unless if you're feeling negative impacts of isolation. You're feeling lonely. You can be in a social environment and still feel lonely,
Mm-hmm.
or you can be alone and not and be okay with it. You know what I mean? And so it really depends on how it's impacting you. And lots of things can cause loneliness or social isolation. Isolation. It's one of them words.
Yeah.
It's one of them words.
It is.
I have lots of those words. And so, unresolved or unattended to mental health issues, of course, can like depression and anxiety can cause loneliness or cause the impact of depression and anxiety can be isolating despite not wanting to. The post-holiday stuff
Mm-hmm.
can create a loneliness or social isolation, but like withdrawal from all the holiday stuff. Um, you know, Life experiences, certain life, the death of a loved one or medical conditions can create social isolation, like getting COVID or having to isolate. We all just came off of 2 years of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of research surrounding what COVID did to our emotional wellness. So there's lots of different reasons. Yeah.
And what are some ways someone could overcome social
Well, getting
isolation?
to the root cause of the social isolation is going to be the theme of this. I can't say isolation.
Yeah.
I didn't even say it right then. Getting to the root cause. Is it mental health issues? Is it your life scenario that's creating the isolation? And so getting to the root cause, um, building routines into your life, being very purposeful with your social calendar. So even though you might not feel like it, adding events to your social calendar can help drag you out of that social isolation. If it's medical conditions that are causing you to isolate, then we are fortunate enough to live in a time now where technology is so readily available that you can do
Mm-hmm.
pretty much anything and connect on a computer. There are dangers to just engaging in social media. There's a lot of research that shows that people who only engage in social media as an outlet um, have false expectations of,
Yeah.
of life. And so, really being one to one, whether it's through technology or sitting here like you and I are doing,
Mm-hmm.
is really the goal.
Okay. And is creating and having connections necessary for mental health?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there has been so many research surrounding the negative impacts of not having connections or social relationships, or of loneliness. There's links between decreased immune system responses, cardiovascular health issues, sleep issues, increase in your mental health. Lots of studies um, in our older population about increase in dementia, decrease in cognitive function. If you're not using your brain,
Right.
you kind of lose it.
Yeah.
And so there's a heavy link between connection, relationships. One of the key treatment components or one of the best things for somebody overcoming anxiety or depression is having a positive support system. I don't know about you, but I don't know what I'd do without my husband or my child to really, not that my child supports me, but without my husband's support,
Mm-hmm.
the days would be hard, without my friend's support. And that's true for all people.
Okay. And we talked a little bit about how important it is to have connections, but what are some tips that you can give someone who's trying to create connections?
There's so many different ways now. Like, you don't have to like go out and be like, hey, be my friend.
Right.
Oh, do you want to play with me? No. You can join, you can volunteer at the SPCA or an animal shelter. Go volunteer to read books at the library to children. You'll be amazed by just purposefully putting yourself in situations, even if you don't leave there with a friend or a positive support person in your life. You don't have your new BFF. You are engaging with somebody, or you're using your brain in a different way. You're getting sort of that connection needs met. And if you make a friend in the meantime, it's hard, to make connections and to feel something sincere with somebody. And so I would say, don't go out looking for your long lost best friend. Go out looking for, hey, this is something I'm doing today, and I'm going to get out of the house. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Getting that love from an animal, maybe. There's, join a cause that you believe in, but take a class. Get your mind working, and innately or by consequence, you'll make connections.
And if, and you talked a little bit about you don't have certain expectations when you go out, could that cause having those expectations and having them not met? Could that cause
Yeah,
a
like I said
negative
about
impact?
social media, you see all the, there's some crazy filters. Have you
Yeah.
ever, I play with the filters with my daughter all the time. She's like, can we make funny faces? But people live in this sort of false reality through social media and have different expectations about what friendship looks like. Relationships, even when you are connected to somebody, relationships are hard. They ebb and flow. That's the beauty of human nature, is that we're all so different. Expecting to walk out of a scenario or having any expectations placed on somebody else is just really unrealistic. The only person you can control in your world is you. And so having the only expectation of, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do something different today, or I'm going to get on this video chat and do something different.
Just like having the expectation of just like, you're just going to have fun.
Yeah. And it's hard when you have depression or anxiety, especially anxiety. The anxious mind really like does wonders with our imagination. So does it really does. You're like, oh, that wasn't how I thought it was going to be, both good and bad. It can hinder you from going out, and it can also then disappoint you because it didn't do all the things that you thought it would. And so really just being present and mindful and in the moment is hard. It's a tool that you have to build in your toolbox. And I'd say that if you really are struggling with maybe some seasonal affective disorder, which is common right now, 64% of Americans suffer from seasonal affective disorder. I think it's 64. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. That's but a lot of people suffer and experience loneliness and heightened symptoms of their either known or unknown mental health issues during this time. Seek help from a professional, and if talking to a professional is a bit scary, I know we're talking about social connection, but reach out to your family or your friends to talk through it with them. You don't have to be alone.
I feel like I always learn so much with the talks with you.
Oh, good, because I think I ramble.
But that's all the questions that I have for you today.
Thank you so much
for joining us.
All right. See you
And
next time.
Yes, next time. We're definitely going to have you back.
Oh, yeah, good. I'll try and practice the tough words for next time.